Okay, let's see here. Yes, perfect. Finally live. I was a little late in doing my grocery shopping tonight. Sorry about that, folks. But hey, we're up and running, and it's good to see everyone. Clorox, Clawpaw, and hold on. Population growth. Oh, and Chosen One. Hey, everyone. Thanks for being here. Little spastic, making sure I got everything going, but I think I've got everything now. So we can get started right on this. And any new updates? Yes, there is one update. I joined a new Patreon. They're called Questiary. And let me go to the live scene so I can show you who I joined up with in case you're also interested. Let's see here. All right, live scene. There we go. Perfect. All right, so Patreon /Questiary. I believe that should be the right URL. I'm also a member of Ches and Peku, that's how I pronounce them, map makers, and they just backed Questiary, which I believe they're also associated with them, so I got a note when they backed them. And what these guys are doing is just what I was attempting to do. Makashi Central, hello, thank you for joining. A while back, I was trying to do monsters per day, but I didn't have the level of polish that they have here. They also have a website that all their custom monsters are attached to. You can get their stat blocks and whatnot when it's open. They're basically doing a monster a day with full color and tokens and a few other things. And they also have stuff set up into PDF. So, like, here's one monster. What else? This is a PDF that they're set up. So they have like a theme going where they'll have like a boss monster and then 6 or so monsters to go along with it. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So hopefully, you know, if anyone else is interested, they have like a, if you have the funds to do so and you are curious, they have an introductory membership rate of like $5 per month. Otherwise, once that fills up, it's $9. I joined up with them for the whole year because they have a 10% thing like, hey, back for the year, and you can, you know, I'm with them for the whole year. I'd rather just pay it in one shot and be done with it than have to worry about every month. So anyways, that was new. That's what's new, what's going on, and I may have some notice or may have some news about that, but I'm going to leave that hush hush for now. I reached out and talked to them about some stuff, and if you know the channel, you probably know where I'm getting at, but I'm going to leave it at that for now. So anyways, let's get into the monsters. I don't know why I'm amped up so much right now, but it's just natural. Probably running on anxiety because I was rushing to get back here for all of you. Because all of you guys are amazing. Okay, let's see here. What was I looking at here? What was this monster? Something CR17. Oh, yes, I know what that was. That's for next week's monster. Yeah, that one was an interesting one because it didn't have a rating. And I found the rating. So it's a CR17, technically an 18 when everything's on board. So that's the only hint you're going to get for that one. Anyways, let's clear this out. And we'll start with the Pierce construct. I believe it's a construct. Yes, Warforged. Well, Warforged construct, whichever. And that one was submitted by Clorox, was it? Hold on. No. Yes? Where's the monster request? There we go. Yes, Clorox. Clorox requested this to have a take a look at it tonight. And after that, we have a couple from Clawpaw from the Monster Hunter Monster Manual, which is pretty cool. If you got any particular ones, let's see here. Request Kezu from the Monster Hunter Monster Manual. We can take a look at that for sure. And Gigi, however you want to pronounce that one. Okay. So let's take a look at Pierce and get right into this. Yes, it was you, Clorox. Thank you. I thought I was right when I was suggesting it was you at first, but I'm all a little scattered at the moment, so I wasn't quite sure. Anyways, let's take a look at Pierce, this custom Warforged here that goes along with the, I believe the one I looked at before, the Warlord of Blades or whatever that one was. Like somewhat of an extra bodyguard or something, which is cool. I like the idea. So we got 16 AC. We got 16 D8 hit dice with the following stats of 11, 20, 16, 15, 20, and 11. That should put us at 120 hit points on average, which it is perfect. We're looking at CR8, and we have, let's see here, 2 saving throws, so that we can skip. We have 1 damage resistance. We can skip that as well, and we'll move right down into the traits section. Excuse my sniffling. Okay, we have Warforged Resilience. Pierce has advantage on saving throws against being poisoned and immune to disease. Magic can't put him to sleep either. Cool. No effect on our Warforged here because it's only 2 conditions, and even though poisoned is pretty often, it's not big enough. It's not like magic resistance where it's a whole bunch of things. Next up, we have Bad Medicine. Whenever Pierce scores a critical on an attack with a firearm, that attack deals an extra 18 piercing damage. Extra damage dealt in this manner is not doubled. Okay, so we have extra damage from a critical, which only happens 5% of the time, unless we have something that increases the threshold, which looks like we do here. Okay, so let's skip to Knock him down and then come back to Bad Medicine to see how this works out. Knock him down. Whenever Pierce successfully hits a creature with a firearm attack, his critical threshold is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 16. Whenever Pierce misses a creature with a firearm attack, his critical threshold is reset back to 20. Okay. So every time he's hitting, he's getting a higher and higher chance to crit until he finally does, but I guess it still stays at that. Yeah, so it drops all the way down to 16, which is pretty impressive. So there is a chance. So we're going to suggest that every time we're always going to see a hit. The dice are just rolling hot. If anyone follows along with Pack Tactics and the Blue Kobold, he's always talking about people doing the math incorrectly, which technically relates to me, and I only look at the averages without applying percentages from AC. I don't apply percentages to AC because we always take the best case in this scenario for building monsters. So with that, my dice are always rolling hot. So if our dice are rolling hot, we're expecting our threat range or critical range to grow every round and technically compound. So depends on how many attacks we're getting here. Woo, 4 attacks. Okay, so we are expecting to hit that 16 in 1 turn. So it'll be 20, then 19, 18, 17. Oh, by the second turn. No. Yeah, all right, so it would be 19 on the second shot. 18 and then 7. So yeah, I believe by the second round we'll be at 16 for that range. So we can kind of do some really squirrely math if we want to do that there. And then if he misses, Pierce goes back to 20. Okay. So then we will have the extra damage applied into there, and I will just throw that in here for the time being for the Bad Medicine extra damage. After that, we have Hard to Kill. Whenever Pierce is reduced to 0 hit points, he can attempt a Constitution save to be reduced to 1 hit point instead. Once Pierce is returned to 1 hit point in this manner, he cannot do so again until he completes a short or long rest. Okay, that's very similar to the Undead Fortitude and Relentless. And both of these, basically anytime the creature is reduced to 0 hit points, they have to make a Constitution save of the damage plus 5. This is very similar. Let's see here. His Constitution score is a 16, so that's okay. I would say, even though it's an 18 and may or may not happen very well or very often, we could assume and take the Relentless and throw that in. It's not that much of a difference here with the 18 hit points. So, it's hit or miss here. It's a little bit. So we'll just add it in as it is. It shouldn't be that big of a difference. It might be the difference of maybe 1 DCR. So I'm going to throw in Relentless because generally only boards have Relentless. I mean, right there, we're seeing 14 effective hit points. How often is this Warforged going to hit a DC 18 with only a 3 bonus there, unless they have a Constitution save, which they don't. That'd be interesting to have that on there for this Warforged here, having a Constitution saving bonus as well to really get that hard to kill it put into place, Clorox. All right. And then we have Firearm Expert. Well trained in firearms, attacks with firearms at long range don't impose disadvantage, which is fine. Pierce's attacks ignore benefits of half cover and 3/4, and Pierce can reload a firearm as part of his movement. Okay, so we don't have disadvantage on long range, which increases the long range, which probably wouldn't make a difference in the CR there. Pierce also ignores 1/2 and 3/4 cover. That could be a benefit, because if someone is using cover to potentially get that AC bonus, since it's negating the AC, this could be a +2 attack bonus, because it's it's a trickier shot to hit. So in theory, firearm expert, and the same that goes for crossbow expert, and maybe even the longbow one, sharpshooter possibly, we could maybe see a +1 or +2 attack bonus here because of this ignoring 1/2 and 3/4 cover. But how often are we going to see monsters use 1/2 and 3/4 cover? Really depends on the situation. If we're taking best case scenario, which we usually are, they're not going to be hiding. So it's tricky to say one way or the other if this is going to affect our monster at all. I would say maybe a +1 attack bonus, just for the time being. Just so we have something for this. I'd have to look into this a little further to see if firearm expert and the like feats would do anything extra. So for now, 1 attack bonus. And then now we'll move into the actions and the bonus reactions as well. Bonus reactions. So we have our multi-attack here of 4 hand cannon attacks, or he makes 2 bolt action rifle attacks. Pierce can replace any number of these hand cannon attacks with Bowie knife attacks. Nice. So we're looking at a +8 to hit. So if we said we're looking at CR8, that should be 3, and we're using +5 from dexterity. Perfect. Okay. Just got to double check that. And then our hand cannon is going to be, let's see, reload on a 6. Interesting. Wait. Oh, 6 reloads for 6 shots. I'm guessing that's what that means. 1 target, hit 9.5. Okay. And then the bolt action rifle, reload for 4, giving us 4 shots before they need to reload, for a total of 16. Perfect. And then the Bowie knife is 8.5, and we have kill shot on a recharge 6. Pierce makes an attack with his bolt action rifle with advantage. On a hit, the attack is automatic critical and deals triple damage. If the damage dealt by the attack reduces the creature to 50 hit points or less, that target makes a con save or dies. A creature killed in this manner has its head reduced to paste. Thank you, Clorox. Perfect. That's what I figured is a 6-shooter, basically. All right, so kill shot. So we would probably be starting with the bolt action rifle at more than likely 900-foot range because of this firearms expert ability. So creatures are going to be coming in on him. So in theory, we might be using the bolt action as much as possible, especially since we got 16 here, but our hand cannon will end up having more of a multi-attack hit. So let's see here. We got 9.5 times 4. And we have the bolt action rifle times 2. So technically our bolt action rifle does less damage initially, but because of that kill shot, probably what would happen is I would see this going as, okay, round 1, bolt action rifle, use the kill shot right away, and then move into drop the rifle and go into the hand cannon range of 180 feet, and if need be, switch back to the bolt action when kill shot recharges, which could also be an interesting feat or a trait to add in of quick draw, so that way he can quick throw the rifle back on his back and then quick draw out the hand cannons and go back and forth if need be. That could make this creature even more lethal, and could be fun. I mean, still, regardless, it's going to be fun this way also. So let's see here. What are we doing for kill shot? Let's see here. Pierce makes an attack with his bolt action rifle with advantage. On a hit, the attack is automatic critical. So we have advantage on 1 shot, and since it's nothing else is technically going to have advantage, we're not going to worry about anything of like a +1 attack bonus, because it's only one out of many shots to happen, and it will only technically happen once every 6 rounds of combat. So let's see here. We're going to get triple damage on that attack. So we could definitely say that we're looking at, let's see here. I'm going to use the legendary action number 1 here. So we'll do that times 3 for that, for triple damage. And what are we looking at on average here? All right. Encounter builder time. Let's see here. We've got one monster at CR8, and we would have a few other Warforged with them. So let's say this is our top monster for the time being. Star Bomber, hello. Oh, is it really? Yeah, it's pretty big. There's a lot going on here, and I've added on over the months and years. So I've got all that. I've got extra notes and stuff down here. Let's see here. I've also incorporated some other stuff as well. So we've got a whole lot of extra stuff going on here, Star Bomber. But that's cool to see that you've made something very similar. I took something I'm sure everyone knows about that is a excellent tool for 5e and just enhanced it even further and added stuff that I liked and put in other things that I thought was good. Yeah. Oh, believe me, you're not alone. All right, so let me put this back into place here, and we'll continue looking at kill shot. So we're expecting 48 damage and what was it? 5ehitpoints.com. We'll come back to this in a second to get our average hit points here. So for the encounter builder, we're looking at, let's say, 4 players at what level that Pierce here would be the big bad, and then we would have some other mooks running around. Let's say 4 at 7. Okay, that works pretty well, actually. So we're looking at maybe PC level 7. We're going to have a total player CR of 14. Pierce is going to use 8 of that, and then we can fill the last 3 slots with CR2. So we could have a CR8 and a bunch of CR2s, which works out too if we look at the suggested CR range here. Our average party CR is going to be 4. The highest CR should be an 8, so Pierce is perfect if he is indeed a CR8. And then we can have a couple CR2s to fill in those slots, and we could have a 4v4 encounter here, which would probably work out really well. So back to here. Let me see if I indeed have... okay, cool. I have level 7s worked out. So in theory, the average hit points for a CR7 or a level 7 player with a +2 constitution bonus should be on average 53 hit points. Obviously, it's going to be a little higher for the marshals and a barbarian, and a lot less for wizards and sorcerers. But on average, we're looking at about 53 hit points. So it's very likely that this kill shot is going to explode some heads. So we can just take that as it is of the 53 points of damage, plus or take a few points as well, because that is, or the 48 is very close to the actual amount here. All right, so then let's continue on. We have bonus action haul ass. Pierce takes dash and disengage actions. Okay, so as a bonus action, he can dash and disengage. So that's extremely similar to nimble escape. Goblins have the same thing. The only other extra thing they can do is, what is it? Hide. Yeah, so I'm going to give them, oh, there we go. It was nimble escape there. Disengage and hide action. This is the dash and disengage. Still pretty powerful. I'm going to suggest we use this for now for this bonus action, and we'll see how it works out. After that, we also have reactions of Marksman's Dodge. As a reaction to being hit by an attack, Pierce can use his reaction to have the incoming damage and reload one weapon he is wielding. That's cool. That is going to be similar to, let's see here, probably avoidance, but not to the same scale as avoidance. Let's see here. Takes no damage on the saving throw. All right, yeah, I'm going to keep that Marksman's Dodge as a 1 effective AC because that is pretty powerful, and it's good that it's only once per use here. All right, let's work out our rounds of combat now that we have some stuff going on here. So round 1, I'm going to suggest more than likely bolt action rifle to get 2 shots off of. And the first round, we're going to be using the kill shot. Why not? So we're going to get that 48 points of damage on the kill shot. And that's all they can do. So that would be attack number 1. There's a likely chance that we explode some heads, possibly, with a DC 16. At level 7, that's going to be an attack that needs, you know, inspiration or some help from a bless or a bardic inspiration or something. But I'm going to go with that and suggest that's perfect. And it is, let's see here, the attack is automatic critical. So we're also doing bad medicine here. Because it's an automatic critical, we add in the extra 18 points of damage. All right, so we're adding in 18 there for a total of 66 points of damage. And probably dropping someone on round 1. Very likely that that will happen unless the dice are not in our favor, and especially if they're over this. Hilarious. Oh man, I feel bad for any PCs that get just one-shotted out of nowhere. 900 feet away from the rifle's range here, and all of a sudden just the wizard drops and head explodes. Round 2. The players, let's see here. The intention was that kill shot was an action, not a part of his multi-attack. I'll clear that up. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm totally... That was totally clear here. That's why that was the only thing. But because it's an automatic critical, it would trigger bad medicine because he scores a critical. Right? I mean, that makes sense to me. Unless it's not supposed to do that. And then round 2, we would go into... let's see here. Then we would go into... actual attacks. And let's see here. If he's 900 feet away and popping shots at players, they're only running at tops maybe, 60 to 120 feet in the round. So he would be able to, let's see here. Oh, no worries, Clorox. I got you. He would probably get a second round with his bolt action rifle before he has to drop it and go to hand cannon. So we're looking at one trigger here. Oops. It's silly nonsense. So we're looking at one trigger, which increases the threat range of our critical hits here. So we're now at 19. Okay. Let's see. What do we got going on here? I just want to make sure I get something. 2d10. This will be keeping track of the bolt action attacks without the modifier in for critical damage added in. Okay. So round 2, we would probably end up doing 2 rounds of bolt action rifle, or 2 attacks here. And this will increase the likelihood of getting a shot off. So we would have, let's see here. So we would do the multi-attack for that. And then, let's see here. So we would have 2 times the dice. We would have the 11. Oops, what did I do? So we're going to pop in the 11 here for that, which adds in 2 more damage. So we're going to say +2 there. And then we would say, sure, we get another hit in. So we're going to go to 18. That moves it up to 3. So that's +5 more damage to get a critical hit for round 3 here. And at this point, we're looking at, what, 18, 20, 15% chance to crit. All right, so let's carry on to round 3. Now, by round 3, there's a good chance that the players would probably be in closer range that he would want to drop his hand cannon or the bolt action rifle, and go into the hand cannon because, who knows? They could be flying or something and getting right up there. Maybe there's some teleporting action going on, and now we need to actually pick up and do the hand cannon attacks. So for that one, we're going to take the 38 here, and we have 4 attacks here. So we haven't even had to reload yet, which is cool. So we would drop the hand cannon, or if we put on the quick draw feature trait, we could quick draw, put the rifle away, grab out the revolver, and go into that attack. So we have 38 damage here, and then we would say, let's see here. So puts that to 19, 18. So we're now at 17. And for 17, we're looking at the hand cannon at 1d8. Okay, so for 1d8, we're looking at 4 here. So that's going to be maybe 1 point of damage. So we're going to do +1 there. And then for 16, which is the maximum, we're going to have 3 more shots at +2. So that will just put in 6 there. So we're looking at 45. Okay, not bad. Already, this is pretty good. Now, we may not have crit anywhere between rounds 2 and 3. We may not have got those crits in place, but we're counting in the small amounts of extra outputted damage here for that. And because of that, because we're factoring in the fact that, we go from 5% to 25% chance to crit, we're looking at a CR9, which is really close to what you had in place, Clorox, and that's awesome. But that's with 2 rounds of bolt action rifle and 1 round of hand cannon, which isn't the maximum amount of damage we can do here. So right now we have a CR9. Let's see what happens when we use only the hand cannon and go for the maximum amount of damage possible through that, because the kill shot does do a lot of damage, and we could even add that in. Let's say for whatever instance we get 1 shot off with the hand cannon or with the bolt action rifle, and then we have to go into the hand cannon instead. So let's see what happens there. All right, so we would pop on the 38 here, and then we would have, let's see, we'll start with 19, so that's going to give us 0 added damage, and then shot 2 would be an 18, so we're getting +1. And then shot 3 and 4, so we would be at 17 and then 16, right? Because the rifle shot would be 20, and then that would be pushing to 19, 18, 17, 16. Okay, I think that's right. So we're looking at a total of +4 extra DPR for possible crit damage there. And then after that, round 3, we're looking at this here, and then we would have what, 4 more shots. We would have to reload as part of a move. Right, so we could easily reload as part of a movement action, because Pierce can reload firearms as part of his movement. So that if he's sitting still, that's just what we would expect. So we would say he can reload, fire off 4 more shots with a potential of +2 for each shot. So we're looking at another 8 more damage there. So CR10 possibly? Okay. Let me see something real quick, because we don't have the hide action. We just have dash and disengage. So that's beneficial. Let's switch this off just real quick, and we're going to say +2 instead of +4, because that hide as a bonus action is pretty powerful there, because it gets you advantage on attacks and whatnot. So let's see what we have here. Okay, if we take haul ass as just the ability to disengage and get away from players, I'm going to say that's only really a +2 and not a +4 like Nimble Escape gives. Then we see a CR8, and before, with the bolt action rifle, we're seeing something a little different. So let's see, what would we have if we took these two, and we'll just duplicate. So we'll say round 1 was the 42, and then rounds 2 and 3 would be 46 each. So we're looking at a potential 7. So we're somewhere, Clorox, we're somewhere here floating around a CR8. Honestly, with the way you have it built out, I really think this is pretty well balanced. I wouldn't change really anything, to be honest. I like how this works out. I like how you can build up crit range modifiers, which is really cool. I like that. And The added damage is pretty amazing. I like that too. That's pretty cool. Technically, we probably should be adding in an extra 18 into this as well for the potential crit damage, because at some point, with upwards of a 25% chance to crit, we're going to hit that crit, and then we're going to just start, you know, pinging headshots left and right. So I'm going to say this is a CR8, even though I don't have it really proven just yet. This looks pretty good. Now, why was this a 4? Oh yeah, because we were from the hand cannon. Okay. If we add in, let's see here. Let me just add in the damage from that as well, and see what that looks like. 22, so potentially 11. Let's see here. No, that doesn't sound right. There's some, yeah, I'd say, hey, Grimboy, how's it going, man? Mr. CR rating, thank you. Glorox, good to hear. He's likely to end up in fight with the Lord of Blades and others of his lieutenants, but he's based off the Gunslinger class by Heavy Arms. Very cool. Yes, my day, Grimboy, has been really good. The beginning of the stream, I was talking about my new Patreon I joined up with for the Questiary group. Pretty cool. I totally suggest looking up into them if you have some free cash to spend and support creators. They do daily monsters, and they have thematic monsters going on. So, like, for instance, if you go to their website, or if you go to their About page, let me just show this off real quick. We'll go back to them. Patreon/Questiary. They have a free PDF to see what they're offering. And let me get off their post page here and just go to their About page. Oh, it's still going to go to it. Anyways, here we go. Go to their Patreon. If you go down a ways into their About section, you can get a free PDF. And this is the one that I looked over. I was telling them beforehand. There's a boss monster, Mizanthian or something. The Lord of Rotting, plus a bunch of themed monsters to go along with this giant or this medium-sized mega mushroom here. So you can check out their free sample. It's pretty cool. There's a couple spelling errors, and unfortunately, this guy gets cut off. They missed that, so I'm going to have to talk to them about that. But it looks cool. They also have a website if you back them up, and they're also they're in collaboration with a bunch of other people. Ches and Peku. I don't know who Alex L is, but the writer, the artist, and a bunch of other things. The website's pretty cool too, but only really worthwhile if you're a member of their Patreon. So that's something I've been looking into. Yeah, it's been good. I've been a little delayed because I've been doing some side stuff that I hopefully can share with everyone. But for now, I'm keeping it a little secret. And yeah, just had a pretty good day overall. Anyways. Let's get that down. The Nilbog. Actually, Grimboy, I have the Nilbog on my channel already. Let's see here. Someone suggested this some time ago. And I may need to give them a second look because because of all the magic they use. But the Nilbog is here. So let me grab the link and I will throw that into chat for you. Yeah, I didn't realize that Nilbog's name was just Goblin backwards. Didn't even cross my mind when I was looking at the video. Thought that was really funny. Okay, so we're finished up with Pierce. I'm going to say, with all the random variables, I think this is a CR8, which is excellent. Yes, definitely very annoying to deal with the Nilbogs. I've learned that, like, even once you kill the Nilbog, the essence travels to another goblin or someone else, so the Nilbog just carries on. So it's quite an interesting character and could be a fun quest line for like a small arc or something. All right, we had the GM binder here. A couple requested by Clawpaw. So let me see if I can find these easy enough. Clawpaw requested. We got Kezu, and then Gigi. All right. Kezu. Where are you hiding, Kezu? Oh, I don't want to look in there. I want to search in here. Kezu, page 231. Okay. Now, can I get to 231? Nope. That's going to be no easy way to get to 231. All right. Let's see here. Where am I at? Ooh, not far enough. Oh, perfect. There we go. 236, 233. All right. So let's see here. Is this Kezu? This is Kezu. Okay. Let's take a look. What we got? Oh, what in the world? What is that? I had a gaggle of around 8 riding rust monsters against my... What the world? Oh my god. A gaggle of nilbogs? Oh no. What CR are those? Let's see here. So they're CR1. Okay. Party of level 8s. So let's see here something. No, wrong one here. Encounter builder. So you have a party of... How many people are in your group of 8? We have 8 nilbogs on their CR1. Yeah. Yeah, rust monsters, not that great. Let's see here. Rust monster. What CR are they? CR1 half. So we have 8 more of those. And that would be 0.5. 5 at the time. So you had 5 players at level 8. Okay. Yeah, I could see that being a problem because of how the monsters are, because of their magic and whatnot, being really obnoxious. The calculations say this should be a medium combat, but because of... No, you did not, Clawpaw. I was just about to get into the Kezu here when Grimboy was talking to me about rust monsters. Yeah, exactly, Star Bomber. That is just evil. Rust monsters and nilbogs running around. So yeah, that should be roughly a medium encounter and a bunch of... okay, so because your lowest CR was perfectly right with 1/2, so the rust monsters, this shouldn't have been much of a problem. Just really a speed bump in the way of what's going on here. All right, let's take a look at this Kezu here for Clawpaw now that he's with us. All right, we have a large wyvern. Why does it say flying in the parentheses? That's really bizarre. It just should be dragon. I think that's usually what it should be in that parentheses there. That's weird. Okay. Anyways, Kezu. Let me reset the tool here. Clear all that out. And we've got 17 AC. We got a large monster with, let's see here, 18 D10 hit dice. I'm just going to throw the Constitution bonus in since that's all that's really important right now. And we're looking at CR10. Would you like to describe this share with us the class, the Clawpaw? Let's see here. They got them sent after them after they pissed off a very petty Arcanoloth. There are probably additional subtypes and things to better emulate Monster Hunter. Possibly. Because in the games, it is classified as a monster wyvern who flies. Oh, alright. So yeah, I guess you could say land wyverns versus flying wyverns versus sea wyverns. I don't play Monster Hunter, unfortunately. It's a game I've considered playing, but I just never gave it a chance, unfortunately. I guess that makes sense. Okay, where'd we leave off? CR10, no saving throws, no resistances, only 1 immunity, so we'll skip that. And we'll go into our stuff here. We got Keen Smell, doesn't matter. Standing Leap, doesn't matter as well. We just skip right past those. We have Electric Barrier, though. Kezu shrouds its body in electricity. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the Kezu takes 15 lightning damage. Okay, that's cool. So we will throw in the 15 points of damage into the heated body trait here. And if the Kezu also did damage when you hit it. We would multiply that 15.5 times 2, but since it's just the one, we're going to throw 15 in. And then we're going to go into the actions. What else do we have here? Anything? It looks like we've got some little extras, but nothing too important for the Kezu. Just some descriptors and whatnot. And I guess stuff you could get for it after you've hunted it down. So we have multi-attack. The Kezu makes 3 lightning ball attacks or uses its electric current and 2 bite attacks. Well, let's see what we have here. We have a plus 10 to hit. So we'll do that. And then we've got, what do we have? A bite. Our bite is going to be 17. Perfect. And then our second attack is electric current. Kezu releases a jolt of electricity all around it. Each creature within 5 feet of it must make a DC Constitution save or throw or become paralyzed until the end of their next turn. Oh, that's dirty. Okay, so we can either do 3 lightning ball attacks or electric current and 2 bite attacks. So the question is, how many creatures are we affecting with the electric current? In theory, we generally suggest 2. 2 failed saves worth of whatever. And paralyzed, let's see here. Oh, Lorendar's on. Hey, buddy. All the monsters in Monster Hunter are either wyverns or dragons, so they use subtypes to differentiate. Flying wyverns, fanged wyverns, dragon, elder dragon, etc. Thank you, everyone, for the clarification. That is extremely helpful. All right, so we have paralyzed. Paralyzed. What are we doing with paralyzed here? Well, paralyzed incapacitates, so we could automatically take the effective hit points for that if we use the electric current. But let's see here. The paralyzed, how long does it last? Okay, until the end of the next turn. So let's see. What else does the paralyzed do? Fails saving throws. Attack rolls have advantage. Any attack rolls that hit the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. Okay. So we could look into that. We're going to also factor in 14 points of effective DPR if we use that. So for the time being, I'm just going to put in the effective damage per round here rather than looking for the effective hit points and see where we're at. Then we have Lightning Ball. Lightning Ball is going to do what? We're going to deal 14 points of damage and then also possibly paralyze a target. And we can do that 3 times. So we would still expect 2 creatures to be paralyzed. So I'm just going to throw it in because we've got 2 different types of attacks here that could potentially paralyze. So we're going to say 35 extra effective hit points because of, paralyzing and knocking people out for 1 round of combat. And then we also get advantage on our attacks and critical damage as well. So yeah, we're going to be doing some damage here. Okay. Let's take a look at what are we doing the most damage of. So well, first off, let's see. Deadly Leap. So we have 2 creatures or 2 saves worth of damage from saving throws. Target's choice of strength or dexterity, be knocked prone and take a bunch of damage. They also get knocked prone, and that's it. Okay. So we're looking at how much damage. 22 total because we're doing lightning damage and bludgeoning damage times 2, so we're looking at 44 points of damage. Okay, this is starting to look very similar to a monster I looked at this week that will be out next week, which is also part of the clue I gave out earlier about a particular monster not having a CR rating. You have a second clue now if you want to try and find it before it comes out next week. You have a week to find out what it is or figure it out. Let's see here. So multi-attack number 1 will be 3 lightning ball attacks. And we are doing that times 3 for 42 points of damage. And then we could also do 2 bite attacks. So we do bite times 2 for 34. What a coincidence! Indeed! So, the irony here is that we're going to get the most amount of damage from Deadly Leaping everywhere. That's the funny part. It's pretty much the same thing with the bullets, however you want to pronounce that. The bullets there, they get the most damage pretty much from their standing leap as well. But because of how we also want to factor in the prone damage and whatnot, because we're going to critically hit as well. Let's see here. If we focus fire one lightning, like a chain of 3 lightning ball attacks on someone, that's a lot of damage. So let's see here. We're considering 14 points of damage for that. We're not getting any kind of stuff going on here. So let's see here. Attack number 1 would be nothing normally, but then we would get advantage on the next 2 attacks because they are potentially going to be paralyzed. So we would possibly switch to a new target after that, after round 1. So I'm going to say maybe 1 attack bonus for having the paralyzing effects on 1 target. And we'll go from there. Let's see how that turns out. We may kick that off. I don't know. But we're getting close. I mean, we're already at CR 9, and it's supposed to be at 10. So let's see here. Now, let's take a look at damage. Well, first off, definitely a deadly leap to get into range. Or not. No, we would probably want to just do lightning ball attacks because of the range. So we'll just do lightning ball attacks then. Because it's good. We're going to be doing pretty much similar damage. It's only 2 points off, so let's just do all lightning ball attacks. It's the most amount of damage, especially with the critical, everything being a critical hit. So we have the 42 points of damage, and then we would end up adding in 2 more DPR for that. And I would say, you know, that's how it's going to be for every round of combat. So we'll just do that there and that there. And we're looking at CR 11. So that's with the fact that we might have the monsters, or we might have players or targets being paralyzed. If the targets aren't paralyzed, we go to 42 there, and we also kick off the added hit points. And what do we have now? CR 10. So if the paralyze works, we have a CR 11. If the paralyze doesn't work, we have a CR 10. And I would say this is a balanced monster. I like it. It's cool. That's fun. I like it. So the Kezu, good. Use it. I'm going to go with the fact that I believe it truly is a CR10. Whoever did this did a really good job of putting this together. Perfect. All right. Let's move on to the GG. The next monster Clawpaw had requested. And let's see if we can find that one. A balanced homebrew wyvern dragon? I know, it's shocking. And I didn't create it. It happens from time to time. There are, from the Questiary group on Patreon, some of the monsters from that, there were 7 monsters I looked at. Some of them were balanced, some of them were not. So it's really hit and miss. It gets harder to get a proper balance when you start adding in all these extra little add-ons here and there. And if anyone's curious and watching this later on, you can join the Discord and, you know, you can ask me questions about how to potentially do something. And I could say, well, that's very similar to this trait or this ability. Why not just do this and save yourself a lot of headaches? And for those that want to join the Discord, if you haven't already, let me grab the invite. Copy that. And we have ourselves the Discord invite. So if you're not in Discord and you'd like to join us in there at the CR Sleuths, there's your Discord invite. Okay. Next up, we have the GG. The GG. I don't know. You want to juge it? I don't know. Did we just jump to it? What's going on here? Okay, CR 1/2. Interesting. Page 226. All right. Where are we going here? We got a little further to go. 220 to 27, I believe I need to go to. Okay, so we have the Giginox and the Gigi. So I believe these are our creatures. I'm not sure if these are the Gigi or what that is back there. Okay, so Gigi Nox is a flying wyvern that is the adult form of the Gigi. And the Gigi itself, let's see here. The larva form of the Gigi Nox they are flying wyvern related to the Kezu. Oh, what do you know? So I'm guessing this is the Gigi here. Okay, cool. So it is the small ones. All right, neat. Let's take a look and see what we have. I mean, this, I don't know. I'm not even gonna attempt to judge it right off the bat. Looks can be deceiving. With an AC of 8, though, let's see how this works out. We have tiny wyverns, and they are 4d8. And let's see here, 18 Constitution. We got a CR of 1/2. And we have stealth, damage, vulnerabilities to fire. Wow, something that's actually vulnerable for a change. Go figure. We can skip all that, so there's nothing to add on there. And we got Leech. If a GG hits with a bite attack, it can then use its bonus action to attach itself to the creature. At the start of its turn, it deals 5 necrotic damage and regains hit points equal to that amount. Cool. All right. So we would get 2 rounds of regeneration, but that would be 10. So we'll just add in 10 down here. I mean, we could add in 3 regeneration and give us close enough, but we'll just put the 10 in there. And we have 10 effective hit points for the 2 rounds of the bite attack. Unless we do the spit, we'll see what's better. Going into the actions, we have a +4 to hit for both the ranged and melee attack. And we have the bite. So the first bite is going to be 6 points of damage. Let me throw in the equal sign there. And then an additional 2.5 necrotic damage. Okay, gives us 8.5 points of damage. And then the target's hit point maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the necrotic damage taken. So we're also dealing an additional 2.5 effective DPR also. So we're doing a total of 11 damage there. The reduction lasts until the target finishes a long rest. Okay. And it dies if it hits 0 hit point maximum. Our poison spit, on the other hand, does 3.5 damage. So there's really no point in doing the poison spit unless we absolutely have to. So how is this working out? Ironically enough, unless we need to regenerate hit points, we don't want to attach because we can do more damage by just biting and letting go. Oh wow, actually no. We're still also regaining hit points also. We're dealing... okay. So there's really no point to leech unless we absolutely need the extra amount of, the double hit points here. So we're going to swap that to get that off there, and we'll just say we're going to regen 2 damage every time we do a bite attack. So let's go with that instead. And we will just end up doing the 11 here, times that by 3 rounds of combat. And sure enough, we have ourselves a CR 1/2, provided we bite every turn. We don't leech, we bite. But if we leech, well, no, I guess you could still do that too. Let's see here. If the GG hits with an attack, it can then use a bonus action to attach itself, which it could do. And then it can let go. So actually, we can still add in the extra hit points too. So yeah, let's see. What do we have here? I'm sure... Oop, I just bounced around here. Wow, it actually didn't make a difference. So yeah, you can leech, you can bite and leech, and you can still not go above a CR 1/2. Bravo. I have a good feeling about this book. I mean, there are a load of other monsters here, but this person did their homework. So far, we're 2 for 2. That's fantastic. All right. Since I did start up late, I'm going to go another 10 minutes or so. So if there's another recommendation, throw something in comments and we can take a look at another monster. Preferably something small. Like a small spellcaster, something under CR10 or something. Because I'm going to be getting to bed pretty soon here. So I'm going to get my cat in because he's staring at me through the window. And we'll see if we have another monster. Otherwise, we can look at something else. through the cat door. There you go. Very good. Here's some food. All right, bye-bye. Very good. Okay, they included so much lore and ecology stuff of the monsters, and so it's so fun to look at. Oh, I'm sure. I was looking at all this extra material here. They went above and beyond for these things, which really, it's nice because it fills out a whole bunch of stuff so you don't have to worry about the lore, but the lore is already in the game, so it really fills out the page, which is cool. You got another lieutenant if you're interested, or if I'm interested. Maybe it might be a little too long. Let me see. Oh, page not found. Adventures in Space. I gotta get my hands on that book at some point. The link didn't work, Clorox. Alright, let's see what else we got going on. Clear that out. Clear that out. I don't care about those notes. And let's see here. Okay, sounds cool, Clorox. Thank you. Let's see. Do I have anything lined up? Oh, you know what? Someone from TikTok asked about the giant centipede. So let's take a look at that. That shouldn't be a giant waste of time. Monster Manual, page 322 or 323. All right, let's throw that up, and we will call it a night after that. And if anyone was paying attention to that last page, there was clue number 3 in there. Monster Manual. Let's see here. 324 to get to the giant centipede, possibly. 4. Giant badger. Giant centipede. Perfect. Okay, so this should be enough to get us to the end of the live stream. All right. Let's see. Giant centipede. Small beast. All right, well, yeah, that makes sense because centipedes are already wicked tiny, so they just upsized the category a little bit. 13 AC. Small. 1d6 hit dice with a constitution bonus of 12. Okay, we're looking at 1/4. All right, and then what do we got? We got nothing in traits, nothing else to worry about. We just have the bite. All right, so what are we looking at here? We're looking at a +4 to hit, and we also need, let's see here, 1 creature deals 4.5 damage, and then the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 10 poison. Oh, I already know where this is going. Right up to at least CR 1/2, probably 1. Holy crap. Okay. If the poison damage reduces the target to 0 hit points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour even after regaining hit points and is paralyzed while poisoned in this way. So if they fail that Constitution save of 11, they're out of combat for an hour or until healed, which is really funny. All right. So this is all that our giant centipede can do, and we'll take that and multiply it times 3. Let's see what happens. Oh, yeah. Okay. Times 3. Yeah, just like I thought. Oh man, that poison damage is absurd. Okay, so here's the thing. It's an all or nothing attack. So that's why it's so damaging here. There's no half damage. So it takes, you either pass or fail, and you take 10 on average, or you don't take anything. And that falls in line with the rules of, if it's an all or nothing attack, you can add 25% more damage from the custom spell rules. Otherwise, this would probably be a 2d6 for poison damage, and then you would take half of that if you failed, or if you passed the Constitution save. Wow. Okay. So, with a DC 11, and generally speaking, most players will have a Constitution bonus of 1 or 2. We're looking at a success rate of what? Let's say 60%. Yes, they also get one-tapped for sure. They're one-shot monsters with what? 4 hit points? Most character modifiers will kill it, sure. So it's not that big of a deal. Unless the players fail the initiative. Then we have some problems. So if the centipedes, since they have a climb speed, are up in trees, they can drop down like a piercer and then bite and, do some work. Oh, yeah, take advantage of that climb and then just drop to the ground. Technically, they shouldn't take any fall damage because of how small they are. Because we all know you throw like a mouse, hypothetically speaking, I've never done this, but if you throw like a small mouse out the window of like a 2nd-story building and they land on grass, they're not taking any damage. They just roll that off and run. So technically, a giant centipede shouldn't take any fall damage. Yeah, mad tactics. Have them up in trees or something, or on top of the ceiling of a cave, wherever you can find them, and then drop them down. So we have a really good chance of succeeding against this. Let's get rid of the poison damage and see what we have then. Now we have a CR 1/8. So more than likely, this is pretty accurate unless they do the damage. So I would say if we take the average of the two, of a 1 and a 1/8, we probably have something closer to akin of a CR 1/2, depending on what's going on. But yeah, imagine them with a bunch of other monsters and a druid. Your Honor, the mouse did not take any. The mouse did not take any damage. Yeah, that could be that'd be pretty funny, actually. Oh man, that drop attack sounds familiar. Swarm of insects. Did I do that? Did I do something like that? I don't remember if I did or not. Anyways. Alright, gang. It is now the time at the gong will be 11:13. And that's a gong. So I say, unfortunately, we're going to wrap things up here since, you know, I got in a little late. We're going to run a little late. So we've run a little late. And yeah, that has been exposing D&D CRs with me, Andrew. Thank you all for joining me. You guys have been amazing, as always. Thank you for all the people that stopped by. Yeah, exactly, Lorindar. I'm attacking Valeric. Bam. Multiple crits in a row. The time where the sun shines again. For Clawpaw, the sun is rising. Great stream. Have a good night. You too, Clorox. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by. Clawpaw, Clorox, Lorindar. Let's see here. Who else do we have? Grimboy. Star Bomber. Someone new to the channel. Thank you for stopping by. You are amazing. Who else do we have here? Makeshi Central. Chosen One, 102. Haven't seen them in a while. That was cool to see them. And Population Growth. Thank you all for stopping by, hanging out with me as we looked at monsters and exposed their CRs. You guys are awesome and amazing as always. Thank you so much. And this is me, Andrew, asking, are your encounters even rated? Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you next Friday. Good night.